It was already dark when her phone rang, the kind of dark that makes the city feel smaller and quieter than it really is. She had just finished washing dishes, the radio playing softly in the background, nothing special about the evening at all. When she saw the unknown number on the screen, she almost didn't answer. But something made her pick up. A calm voice on the other end asked her name, then paused for a moment too long. He said they had found a wallet with her documents inside. Relief came first, then confusion, because she was sure the wallet was somewhere in her bag. When she checked and realized it was gone, her heart skipped. He suggested meeting near the old bridge, said he lived nearby. She hesitated, then agreed, telling herself she was being silly to feel nervous. The bridge was quiet when she arrived, streetlights reflecting on the water below. He stood a few steps away, holding her wallet in his hand, looking slightly unsure, as if he wasn't certain she would come. They exchanged polite smiles, awkward thanks, small talk that felt unnecessary but comforting. He explained he found it on a bench near the river, untouched. She thanked him again, surprised by how normal and kind he seemed. Before they parted ways, he joked that fate clearly wanted them to meet, and she laughed, not knowing why that simple comment stayed with her longer than it should have. Days passed, and life returned to routine, but she found herself thinking about that brief meeting. Then, unexpectedly, she ran into him again at the same bridge, this time by chance. He recognized her instantly, smiled like they were old friends, and asked if she had lost anything else lately. They walked together for a while, talking about work, about how strange cities can feel even when you've lived in them for years. The conversation flowed easily, without effort. When they said goodbye, neither rushed away. Something quiet had started, something neither of them named. Weeks later, the bridge became their place. Sometimes they talked for hours, sometimes they just stood side by side, watching the water move below. She realized how many important moments begin without warning, hidden inside ordinary days. If she hadn't answered that call, if she had stayed home that evening, their paths might never have crossed again. Life didn't announce the moment it changed. It simply called, and this time, she answered. As autumn slowly turned the air colder, their meetings became more intentional. What started as coincidence turned into quiet plans that neither of them openly admitted were plans. A message sent late in the evening, a short walk that stretched longer than expected, coffee that cooled while they talked. She learned small things about him, how he liked his coffee too strong, how he avoided talking about his childhood, how he listened more than he spoke. He learned how she needed time to trust, how she filled silence with thoughts, how she smiled when she felt safe. None of it felt rushed. It felt like two lives slowly aligning without force. There were moments when she questioned it, when doubt crept in and reminded her how easily things can disappear. She had been disappointed before, trusted words that didn't last. He sensed her hesitation but never pushed. Instead, he showed up consistently, quietly proving that he meant what he said without ever saying much at all. One evening, as they stood by the bridge watching the water move beneath them, she admitted her fear of getting attached to something fragile. He didn't promise forever. He simply said he wasn't planning on leaving. That honesty meant more to her than any dramatic confession. Time passed, and their connection deepened into something steady. They shared routines, inside jokes, and long conversations that ended in comfortable silence. The bridge, once just a place to cross, became a symbol of something stronger, a reminder that sometimes the most important relationships begin without intention, built from small moments rather than grand gestures. On a quiet night, as city lights reflected around them, she realized that the call she almost ignored had led her here, to a connection that didn't demand certainty, only presence. And for the first time in a long while, that felt enough.